welcome back to CT Sports Now here on the Vantage Sports Network. Look who's joined me. It's Dave Ruden of the Ruden Report.
Oh, here I am.
You're the guy we want to
you?
talk to. How are you, Dave? Thank you
Mark.
so much for stopping by to talk girls basketball, in particular the FCIAC. I mean, the season has begun, and already, you know, we've had highlights of several teams in the league. It's going to be another strong season, I think, for the FCIAC.
I think it's going to be a very strong season. It's possibly third year in a row you could have a state champion out of the league, which doesn't happen too often down in these parts. But I think the league's going to be as strong as it has been the last couple of years. Starting off with Fairfield, Ward, and Stanford are probably the two teams that everybody's looking at right now.
Yeah, I saw Ward the other night in their matchup against NFA, and they are big and quick as well.
Yeah, they got Deja Polk at the point guard, does a great job running the offense. And you got a strong 1-2 punch in Shania Osborne and Ilyana Krasnicki, two good scorers. So probably as good a threesome as there is in the FCIAC and perhaps the entire state, and a very motivated team. These seniors were part of a sophomore class 2 years ago. I think they thought there were going to be a couple of trophies in the trophy case, and there aren't any. And I think that is less an indictment on Fairfield Ward and more speaks to the strength of the FCIAC these last couple of years. They've gone up against a lot of good competition, including a hot Stanford team last year, strong Greenwich and Wilton teams. So I know I was over at practice with them a week ago, and they're a very, very hungry group. They want that. They want titles. They don't want a title. They want titles.
Well, Dave Danko is used to that success running that program. You talk about Stanford last year winning a state title. What makes the Black Knights a threat again this year?
A lot of talent coming back. I think a lot of people are probably saying, well, Tiana England's gone, so forget about it. And she was one of the top players in FCIAC history, just a dynamic point guard. But there's a lot coming back. They still have Alexa Kellner, and she's going to be one of the go-to players in the league. I think she's going to probably be one of the top scorers. So right there, you've got Camille Martinez at the guard spot, who had a lot of key three-pointers from last year. I think she's going to be a factor as well. You have Andrea O'Connor, who was the MVP of the FCIAC and state volleyball tournaments, 6-footer. And I think she's going to just be brimming with confidence coming off of that season. And she was due, I think, for a breakout year anyhow. And Brooke Kelly's going to take over at guard, try to do what Tiana did last year. And maybe that's not fair to put it that way. But she's a very good player who's going to step out and become known. So Stanford's going to be a tough team. Anybody who's riding them out just because Tiana's gone, it does so at their own risk, their own
chances. West Hill as well, an improved team within Stanford. I saw them the other night. They have a big sophomore in the middle that's going to be effective for them. They like to press a lot too, and we've seen New Canaan, we've seen Darien and Staples as well. So there's a lot of talent throughout this league, right? I
think so. Two other teams I would keep an eye out. Trumbull, number one. Trumbull, nobody said anything about them last year, and they ended up finishing third in the regular season. Steve Tobich, one of the best coaches in the state. And you have Claudia Tucci, who's one of the top scorers. And this is a team that doesn't need any stars. They just have great chemistry. They play good defense. They play well together. So I would keep an eye on them. And the other team that's going to be dangerous is Ridgefield. Ridgefield graduated two best players in Rebecca Lawrence and Jess Camarda. But they have the Middlebrook twins coming back, Julia and Elizabeth. And they've got a deep team as well. So a couple of new starters who are going to be coming in. So I would keep an eye out on Ridgefield as well. And Greenwich is still going to be tough, even though Abby Wolf is gone.
Right. And Ridgefield and Fairfield Ward on Wednesday night of the Massac championship game. I mean, that's
and again next Tuesday up in Ridgefield.
Well, see, I didn't
they
know
play
that.
Twice in 6 days.
Wow.
I'm actually going to go up there to watch that game next Tuesday.
That is something for two early season matchups between those two squads. It should be something special.
And you know what? It could be first 2 of 3 meetings. 4 meetings. Who knows what's going to happen? Both good teams.
And you know what I also like about the league? It's got great coaches. I mentioned Dave Danko, who's a longtime coach at Fairfield. ward, and there's so many others. And they also have one at Bridgeport Central in Diane Nolan, who is the longtime and now former college coach at Fairfield U for I think 30 years, and then at Lafayette for 7 or 8 years. I mean, what she brings to the league and to that program, it's got to be fantastic.
It's tremendous credibility, and in another lifetime, I actually used to cover Fairfield U men's and women's basketball many stops ago. So I know Diane really, really well. We had a very, very good relationship, coach reporter, and she's just a super coach, and it's such a gift for a team like Bridgeport Central that doesn't necessarily have all the resources that other schools in the FCIAC do, and to get a coach of that quality is just tremendous. And I know Diane's having a lot of fun working with the girls too. It's kind of fun taking a program and modeling after what you've done at other places and trying to bring it to the top. And if she gets the players, Diane's going to do really, really well there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think you're right. It's always fun to talk to you, Dave Ruden. The Ruden Report. Check it out. Everything you need to know, certainly about the FCIAC and girls basketball preview now. We'll talk boys basketball in a week or so as well. It's going to be a tremendous winter sports season. Of course, you don't want to forget hockey. You don't want to forget wrestling, indoor track. There's so much to talk about. And when you talk about athletics and leagues in the state, the FCIAC, certainly one of the powers.
Yep, it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate you having me on. And happy to come back anytime and talk about anything you want. As you said, we're not at a loss for subject matter.
No, not at all. Well, happy holidays. Enjoy this season, and we'll see you soon.
You too, Mark. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you so much to Dave Ruden. And we'll come back. Noah will reappear, and we continue with CT Sports Now.